Here now is Republican Senator Mike Rounds from South Dakota. Thank you for being with us, Senator. Let's focus first on this meeting tonight. There are going to be 3 Democrats there, Joe Manchin among them. Now, I can imagine a Joe Manchin going along with a Republican plan, one that maybe was started by the president's economic team. I can't imagine Chuck Schumer or Nancy Pelosi going along. Can you?
Well, maybe not, but you got to start someplace. And what we know is that even in reconciliation, where you try to do it with 51 votes, sometimes you don't have 51 votes, even among Republicans. So if that's not the case, and if you're going to try to do something that's going to stand the test of time, maybe you do need to put something down that will get enough Democrats and Republicans to perhaps not only reach 51, but maybe even 60, because your hands are untied once you get to the 60-vote threshold in the Senate. And you can do more than you can if you're going to do it just through what we call the reconciliation process. Right. So I commend the president for reaching across to both sides of the aisle. And I think it's a good idea. I think we're going to have to go back and do
Senator,
that with healthcare
really
too.
is, when are we going to get it done? I mean, we just had Kevin Brady, our producer, Chad Pergram, just cornered Kevin Brady, the man who writes the tax law in the House. Today he cornered him. He said, you know, when is you going to have a tax package? He said, well, first we have to have special tax deals for the hurricane victims. Now, that's very nice, but for gosh sakes, I mean, you know, we've been at this for months. When are we going to get a package that you guys can vote on? Before the end of the year?
Man, you sound like us. It's exactly the kind of questions that we're asking as well. There's a lot of us that want to move forward. We're ready to go, but we also know that you have to dot I's and cross T's. Doesn't mean we're happy about it, but we want to move forward. We want to get this thing done. We know we've got to have results. We're not done with health care yet. We know we've got to do some things there. But tax reform is critical if we want to build our economy.
Put it all aside.
So we're ready to roll.
I mean, maybe you can't put the hurricane relief. You got to get hurricane relief in there, and that was done by the president. He put that on the fast track. But the fact is it was back in April. In fact, we put together a little montage back in April when Gary Cohn and Steve Mnuchin, the economic geniuses that from the president's team, came out and announced a pretty good package. Let's just take a listen to a little clip of that.
A 10% bracket, a 25% bracket, and a 35% bracket. We are going to repeal the alternative minimum tax. We're going to repeal the death tax. We're going to eliminate most of the tax breaks that are mainly benefits to high-income individuals.
We will lower the business rate to 15%. We will have a one-time tax on overseas profits, which will bring back trillions of dollars that are offshore to be invested here in the United States.
Well, Senator, there you have it. You had about 10 specific suggestions. Just write up what those two guys said and vote on it.
I'm ready. And right now, if you're going to ask me to make an excuse for why it's not being done, I can't give you one. Because, quite frankly, there's a lot of us that feel exactly the same way. But I will tell you this. There's also a lot of other things we got to get done as well. And I'm not going to suggest to you, and I don't mean to suggest to you that leadership isn't trying. Remember, in the Senate, it takes 60 votes unless you do reconciliation. If you do reconciliation, you got to do a budget first. And there's a whole lot that goes with that. So
all right. Well, you just described very briefly the reason why the president is taking this on himself. He's not going to leave it up to the folks in Congress. He's taking it on himself. He's going to the people directly, and hopefully he'll clear through all those weeds and get right to the heart of the issue quickly.
I'm all in favor of it. Bring it on. We got to do it. If you want the economy to grow, you got to bring the dollars back in. You've got to do something to help keep the jobs here. You got to give the middle class a tax break. And for goodness sake, it's time to simplify that tax code. Even if we just allow more people to take advantage of the 1040A rather than the long form 1040, think about what that would do for a whole host of Americans in this country today.
There. Just write it up and vote on it. Senator Rounds, good to see you, my friend. Thank you very much for being here. Appreciate it.